Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome back to MCubed. Today is Wednesday, so it's Cinema Scoop Wednesday around here. We're talking about some film news going out right now, all the things going on in the cinemas, and just the typical news for the film industry, of course. So, we've got a couple good topics today. We're going to talk a little bit about Disney and AI, and then we're also talking about maybe down the road about Apple buying out Disney, maybe Apple buying out Paramount, which one we think might fit Apple's bill as a company better, which one fits better for their bill as a company moving forward, and would we prefer Apple bought Paramount or would we prefer Apple bought Disney? Or would we prefer they all kind of stay their own separate entities and do their own things? All out there. We got a little AI discussion too if you want to talk about it. But I've got to go see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 4D in an hour and 20 minutes. So there's 25, 30 minutes of preview. So we got an hour and a half roughly. So we're going to hang out. We're doing it. It is Cinema Scoop Wednesday. Welcome. Let's get into it. And what better way to start out a video or a live stream? Probably a better way of saying it. Well, then with the coconut water. I'm a crackhead for coconut water. I really hope David is not correct in that it will give you the runs one day, because that would not be nice. That would not be preferable. But in the meantime, as long as that's not happening, I shall be drinking coconut water. But yes, howdy, howdy, howdy. Niraj, how you doing, man? That's our editor. I don't know if he's still here or not, but thank you for hanging out for a little bit, my friend. Laura, howdy, howdy. I do have to do laundry before my trip. I can't believe I'm going to Maine tomorrow for another week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Movie time, though. We get to go finish filming this movie, or finish filming, I think, about 90-95% of the film. We might do a couple extra pickup shots back here in LA when we're back, but we're essentially done after this week. And I'm excited. I'm really excited. I didn't think I was going to be this excited. I thought it might be a little more trepidatious and worrisome, but nah, I'm pumped. It's going to be a good one. Howdy, Shelly. Howdy, Sarah. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone's doing well. What are y'all thinking? Before we get going, what are y'all watching right now? I guess I started watching Foundation. I'm on the second episode. I've been watching. We'll be doing The Shadows, and then Only Murders in the Building came out on Monday evening, and it was excellent, phenomenal. I was really worried about going to the new season. I was like, okay, they're bringing in Meryl Streep and Paul Rudd. Is this where Only Murders in the Building kind of downgrades itself and starts to lose its fun and lose its awe? Because season 2, I think we talked about it the other day just a little bit. I didn't think was as good as season 1, but its high points were better than a lot of season 1's high points, where I think season 1 was much more consistent. Season 3 so far in these first 2 episodes are insane. I'm not going to give you any spoilers or anything at the moment, but it's so much fun. I love Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. The 3 of them are amazing. You add Meryl Streep and Paul Rudd to the cast, just oh, it's so good. I'm loving it so far. I can't wait for a new episode. Mondays are now Futurama and Only Murders. What did I do to deserve all this? I don't know, but I'm happy. Howdy, David. Howdy, man. Yeah, Only Murders, man. It's great. It's great. Okay, so shall we hop into this? Shall we hop in? I have yet to read this article, so let me go ahead and put it up here. I'm going to. Should we do? Yeah, let's do this one. And ooh, howdy, Sci-Fi Quest. How you doing, man? We got the whole gang's here. Share screen. Disney creates task force. Here we are. Okay. I have yet to read this article. I've read a Hollywood Reporter article that is very similar, but I like me some Collider. So I wanted to read Collider's version of the article, and I'm not sure who wrote it. Let me read who wrote it right here. I can't even say the guy's name. Chris McPherson published 4 hours ago, currently 11 a.m. on the West Coast on the 9th of August. So 4 hours ago from now. It's not the longest article, but it weighs heavy on the future of film in a lot of ways, and not just film. The future of almost every industry, any industry, and anything and everything that we've ever thought about on this planet or done ourselves. Because we might not be doing it ourselves for that much longer, and that's just an interesting thought process. Of course, we could go iRobot and have all these different robots helping us out. We could go Star Wars and have our C-3POs and R2-D2, or we could go Skynet. Those are just different things. There's multitudes of other options out there, and that's more likely to fit the bill of what real life is anyway, right? And obviously, we're still down the road from all this stuff, but this is the entrance point of our civilization into of our species in a lot of ways into the future, and where our future is not set in stone. This is where it starts to become not necessarily set in stone still, more like set in a piece of steel with some nice electronics added in there, you know. But anyway, but besides my insane metaphors trying to make things make sense, let's keep going. Yeah, I'm gonna real quick check my mic, make sure it's in the right place. Audio's in the right spot. Okay, clearing the throat without having y'all hear all the nasty. All right. Let's exit out of these little things. And the Walt Disney Company has initiated a dedicated team to delve into the realm of artificial intelligence, AI, and its potential applications throughout its expansive entertainment empire. This comes amidst ongoing strikes involving the Hollywood writers and actors who aim to limit what they see as the technology's dangerous and growing influence with the industry. Commencing earlier this year, prior to Hollywood's writer's strike, the task force is actively exploring internal AI development, avenues, and forging partnerships with emerging startups. The company's desire to expand into the world of AI and by design cost cutting presents 11 open job positions that specifically seek individuals proficient in artificial intelligence and machine learning. These job opportunities span a wide spectrum within Disney, encompassing divisions ranging from Walt Disney Studios and the inventive unit Walt Disney Imagineering to Disney's theme parks, television ventures, and the advertising sector. It's worth noting that the ad team appears to be pursuing the ability to craft an AI-powered ad system termed Next Generation, as detailed in the description of these job postings. Disney's growing interest in expanding their use of AI comes hot on the heels of the news that the company was hiring for an R&D Imagineering position that requires expertise in generative AI, indicating their unfortunate interest in seeing how far they can take the potential of AI tools. Unfortunate, interesting. The company came under fire for debuting their limited series Secret Invasion and trumpeting the opening titles, which have been created using generative AI in the midst of a strike designated to highlight the fact that AI was taking jobs from skilled workers. I've said it. I'm a little bit of a fan of AI. I do believe that it is the great equalizer in many, many ways. I did not like that Secret Invasion intro though. It was so bad. It was just so bland, so boring. And that's one of those things that AI, I think, it doesn't do things well by itself. It has to have human input, human creativity, and it has to have not necessarily a narrative, but something in mind that some kind of a goal to achieve, I guess, where the goal couldn't simply be just create me a Secret Invasion intro theme that sounds cool and looks cool. No. It needs to have a little heart and soul. It needs to correlate and connect to things, not just be a bunch of fun pictures of scrolls and Nick Fury combined in AI. I was bored as hell for the entire series, besides that first episode, really. But besides the story, which was kind of boring, the intro didn't help at all. And I feel like you need something engaging with that intro. House of the Dragons and Game of Thrones are the first thing that come to mind, of course. Walking Dead, always love that intro as well. Good music's very important, but you want to have a good visual to follow along that music that's just easy to remember for somebody. And a lot of the time, like Walking Dead shows, a lot of scenes that are happening throughout the season or scenes that have happened throughout past seasons. And most shows tend to go that route, and that's a good way of helping you remember what's going on this season or past season and really keep you alongside these characters Game of Thrones and House of Dragons does it wonderfully because it puts you inside of that world and really invest your brain inside the world building aspect of the show, where the Secret Invasion one was just awful. It was bad. AI should be limited to medical research and scientific improvement, not entertainment. I wholeheartedly disagree. I heard somebody talk about it earlier today. I believe it was on the Den of Nerds. He was talking about how we've said it here and in multiple places many times. We have no idea what 10 years is going to look like from now. The entire job industry of humanity is going to be entirely different. But you're saying that it should be limited to medical and scientific improvement, not entertainment, is literally halting innovation. Why would we halt innovation? We as a species have opened this can of worms. We're not going back. We should use it as a tool going forward and not just be like, legislate against it, legislate against it. I heard this example used earlier today as well. If we start legislating against it, why would China legislate against it? If we start putting ourselves back in quote unquote the dark ages for what the future is going to be, everyone else around any of us in the West are going to beat the hell out of us. And rightfully so at that point. If we duck our heads and put our tails between our legs and run away from innovation, innovation's innovation. It's not supposed to be comfortable. Uncomfortability breeds futility. Uncomfortability breeds future generations. And I think we have to look at it in an innovative way. Yeah, use AI or get left behind. Really, it sounds a little tough, but hey, tough love's the best love sometimes. It's realism. It's realistic. It's pragmatic. It's logical. It's all these things. Yes, mostly. Studios should not be using AI for content creation in any way. Same thing. It's innovation. We have to use it. We have to use it. So we might as well use it as a tool now and not replace people. There's no way. Like the Secret Invasion intro. It sucked because it was just AI kind of doing its thing. There wasn't a human being that was saying like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. This needs to be here. This needs to be here. We want episode 4 to be about this. So this little bit needs to be included and might be a hint. If someone's paying attention, they can kind of figure this out. You know, that's where it's engaging. And that's very easy to do with AI. It's easier to do with AI just tossing it out there and saying, hey, do this, this, or this. It's a little bit harder putting in little stipulations and telling it to do certain things. But hell, if it's a tool, I think it is much better for humanity. It allows us to push ourselves forward as a species. I agree, a help, not a replacement. AI limited medical research. Do you want Cybermen? That's how you get Cybermen. We're kind of on the way for that. Neuralink is already kind of happening, or is it going to happen sooner than later? There's a lot going on. If the writers want to use it to assist themselves, hi, John. Also, howdy, John. I think AI has a place in entertainment, but should work with people, not take over. Yes, totally. If the writers want to use it to assist themselves, or the VFX people want to use it to that is fine as it is a tool. Totally. Yes. 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 Limited AI is okay for military purposes, but not defense. See, military AI scares me the most. That's just like that gets into iRobot like plus a little bit, you know, like ooh, just a little spooky, just a tad bit spooky. I don't know. I feel like at this point that can of worms is opened. The box of Pandora, the Pandora's box has been opened. Do we make our bed with that and keep living, or do we try to actively push ourselves back into? I don't like saying the dark ages because we're not in the damn dark ages. We're nowhere in the dark ages. It feels a little dark every now and then, but not dark in the sense we're technologically dark. We're in the definition of like the bright ages, if there is one. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Okay, so back to the Disney AI topic of it all. Do you think Disney is in the right preparing themselves for all of this? Apparently, they've been preparing themselves for this for a lot longer than just this article is allowing or saying, I guess. A creative tool, yes. Keep the artistic input as human AI is too new. Look what happened when they automated the car industry. Yeah, totally. The box is open. Totally. I really think so. So with that box opened, Do you think with the Disney AI stuff that we just read about, do you believe that it is going to primarily be used for film upfront, or do you think it'll be used for advertising? Do you think it'll be used for the parks? Because I think it will definitely be used for all three, of course. I think it will actually be used and utilized for film less than the other two, particularly at the get go, though. I think the parks are that's their biggest moneymaker, hands down. They make more money from the parks every single year than they do making movies. They make more money at the parks than they do advertising. They make more money at the parks than doing a number of other things. The parks are their big thing. If they can find ways to automate that and not have to pay people, because okay, one of my friends that I did Euphoria with, she works at Disney. I won't tell you her name or anything like that, so Disney doesn't get pissy, and she doesn't get pissy. She loves her job, but one of the things, she works at Disney. She's like a costume person walking around doing things. And one of the things she does do is I guess she has captained the boat, not the Jungle Cruise boat, the actual like whatever the other cruise boat is, the big boat. You know what I'm talking about? The big white one that looks all ornate, New Orleans steamboatish, but it's not a steamboat. I just can't remember the title or the name of it. It's hot as hell. I mean, it's either Los Angeles or way down in Florida with the swamps and that kind of humidity and heat that these people are working in, and they're not allowed to take their heavy blazer jacket off unless I think it's 90, 95 degrees, if not more. And if you're 90, 95 degrees in frickin' Florida, it feels like about 102, 105 because of the humidity down there. So if they can find ways to replace, if they can automate the driving of boats, that's less people they have to pay. That's less people that they have to like pay to take things off and do. I mean, you're not paying to take people things off or anything like that. That's more so you have employees that are aggravated because in the heat they're not allowed to just live and work in a comfortable environment. They're supposed to put on a show that they're having a good time for all these families, all these kids. While in the back of their head they're hating it, like just it just drooling and how grueling it actually is. It's the cruise line, not the cruise line. It's like, it looks like a Steamboat Willie boat, but it's not. It's the big. I don't remember what it's called. But that was just a brief example, I guess. Think about the mascots walking around. That's first of all, I've heard this brought up a couple times before. Is, do you really want people that are signing up to go hug your children and very, like, first of all, these people are not comfortable all day. And yes, some of them are just kids. A lot of them are kids or people in their 20s, like my friends that I do know that work out there, and they just need a job. They might be cosplayers. They might like dressing up. They might just be a really big Disney person, and that might be what that is. A lot of people are that and apply for those jobs like that. But just because it needs to be brought up just a little bit, what kind of people, especially into their adulthoods, are the type that go up and want to hug kids in sweaty hot suits all day? I know that's a little bit of a crude way of saying it, but it's like, wouldn't you rather your kids kind of be hugged by a robot than somebody that you don't know who the hell they are under that costume? Like maybe the dude dressed up as like Doctor Strange or Indiana Jones walking around. Like, okay, that's one thing, but I don't know who's under like the lion hat or who's under. I'm just saying like the lion hat. I'm thinking like Lion King or anything like that. You know, any of these other shows or movies that you have to put like a full on like suit on. Have it be a robot. Have it be something simple. That's a lot. I mean, sure, you might have to pay somebody to repair the robot every year, but you're paying one person 1 year's worth of wages. That can increase their year's worth of wages versus having to pay 2 or 3 or 4 people that might continue to quit because it's too hot, do all this, or they might stay there and be creepy. There are some iffinesses, and it's good to, I guess, look at any and every perspective that we can with all of this. So yeah, okay. Let me catch up on the chat real quick. Use the tools we have, but limitations. Limit it to protect the humans first. Asimov's first law of robotics, right? Not the cruise line. I'd be more interested with AI combined with the Roddenberry archive, not Disney. I'm not a big Star Trek person. I'm not. You know, I just haven't checked it all out because if Stargate is a lot to watch, if Star Wars is a lot to watch and catch up on, I really haven't seen any Star Trek, and you know I'm so anal about like watching things chronologically that I'd have to watch it like from I'd probably have to watch Strange New Worlds and then everything after it, so I could get it in like actual like technical order, I guess. But that's just so freaking much. My brain hurts just even trying to think about it. That's like trying to watch like One Piece or any of those like 1,000 episode animes. Just nope. I didn't start watching it a long time ago, so I'm not going to now. You know, Star Trek is one of those things where I will never say I'm not going to now, but it would be interesting to see AI combined with Roddenberry's archive and not just like Disney's or anything like that. Obviously, that would be a Paramount thing at the moment, so we can get to that discussion a little bit, huh? Yeah. But boats have to have humans in control just in case something goes wrong. But it depends how smart the robot is, right? Right? Like, I guess you could be saying something might be going wrong with the robot itself. That's always true as well. But you know, there would be a grace period where things would work and probably coincide, and I'm sure that's what that's probably what we're going to see for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. One Piece is awesome. I have been told I'm not catching up. It looks fun. I can't catch up. There's just too much. Maybe emphasis on maybe I'll watch the live action, but I don't know. A robot like in Lost in Space on Netflix? Please, please. Oh my God. What is little Will Robinson call him? What's his nickname for him? Oh, why can't I remember the nickname? I love Lost in Space. I watched it just because, you know, I like sci-fi stuff, and I started and I was like, this looks a little childlike, but I really like the lead actress in it a lot. I adore the Lost in Space Netflix series. It's sci-fi, but it's familial sci-fi without being like dumbed down or kidified or anything like that. It's true familial sci-fi in the sense like, hey, we're all in a bad world and we're all working on trying to do better for ourselves and do better for the human species. But hell, it's difficult, and we get to see that happen. I love that show so much. LOL, program them to jump in after them and inflate air balloon AI. Legit though, like I understand that's a little bit of a joke and stuff, but like legit. Once the robot's smart enough, why if the boat goes down, why do you need people to run it? It would take some time, and that there will be that grace period like we just discussed. But the future is here. The future is here. I don't know what accent that was. I was just having fun. I can't wait for the LA version. Oh, live action version of One Piece. I was like, is LA doing a robot? Is there going to be like a Los Angeles robot or something? No. I'm with you. Takes me a second. Do you think pilots are hands-on controls on a 10+ hour flight on a pilot? Basically, yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Boats and planes. Like, most flights are 90% autopilot. Yeah, totally. Like that's the perfect example. I didn't even think about that, but you tickled me with the thought because it's the epitome of everything. Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Real quick. A robot like ED-209? Probably not. LOL. Who's ED-209? Real quick. I'll Google it real quick. ED-209. ED-209. Oh, is that RoboCop? Oh, wait. Why did it not show up? ED-209. Is that just RoboCop? Is that what he's called? No, okay, that's that big ass. Oh, okay, I'm with you. It's the like the gunner thing that's walking around like a chicken walker almost, but more not so lopsided. He's a little more stable, I guess. Um, uh, that's one that I've definitely considered catching up on. That's just so much. There's so much. Like I literally caught up on what 3, 4, 500 episodes of Stargate, and that took me like a year to watch all the way through. A little over a year probably because I took a little break for a couple months at a certain point. Uh, I don't know. I could watch it a hell of a lot faster this time because now I'm like fully enthralled with the universe and everything. I don't know. Doctor Who's iffy because I'd want to go all the way back and watch the old stuff as well as the new stuff. Anyway, I don't think there's anything left in this article. How will the strike end? I don't think we're really going to be talking about that much more. So let's keep talking about AI and how it works and things. I really think the parks are going to be where they try to implement AI the most. Yes, we've talked about this. Marketing wise, y'all have any ideas of what they could do marketing wise? I think you plug in AI to learn algorithm based things. You plug in, if you trained an AI to go to YouTube and figure out its algorithm, you trained an AI to go to Twitter/X, figure out its algorithm. You train the AI to figure out Meta, Instagram, and Facebook, and all these different things as algorithms after that. And you really pinpoint how humans interact with their mediums, the mediums they have for their media that they watch. That's my grammatical correction there. It would. I think advertising is going to be almost completely AI generated very soon. You remember that Coca-Cola commercial that came out? That was mostly AI done. Had a little bit of a story going on, not that much. It was more just like not gimmicky, but almost gimmicky. It was really fun to watch. It was really cool. They were in that museum and throwing bottle caps around, throwing like the Coca-Cola bottles around. It was really interesting. I would think where they're going to try to implement the parks as soon as possible and start to do things like that. Obviously, similar with film, and we've talked about that many, many times, and we'll continue to talk about it for the foreseeable future, most likely. Marketing, I think, is the place we'll see all of this utilized upfront the most, and in a quicker manner as well. I think it'll happen much quicker than we expect it to, because marketing is something that pretty much everybody does already. That's something that's baked into everybody's model of business. So, and particularly Disney's model of business, with being able to maybe pay a couple marketers a hell of a lot better by shortening the and lessening the department of marketing, and maybe hiring one military. And I just read military person down there. Don't hire military person for marketing, and hire like an AI research design or somebody like that person for marketing as well. I think that's plausible to be happening very soon. Sorry, I threw myself off by saying military, and then I was like, no, it's not good to say AI after military, whatever. But we made it work. You know what I was trying to say. I think if not, I'll start over. But let me know. I'm trying to catch up with chats now, just because that's what my brain tried to do in the middle of a sentence anyway. Commercial ships are autopiloted during basic course, but run manually, piloted for any maneuvering needed. Yeah. Very true. Almost nobody sails anymore without an autopilot. In and out of port, human control. Out at sea, use autopilot. Human override if it breaks. Yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, that's how every sci-fi movie's been since prior to Star Wars. Maybe since Star Wars or prior to, like, most of the time it's an AI kind of thing. But when you need to put your hyperdrive stuff in here, and we have to put these coordinates in, we have to make sure it's perfect. Don't just let it generate it, or let. I guess you are letting it generate it because R2D2 is an AI as well. But you know what I mean. It needs to have someone else's touch to it, and R2D2 is less. I do like how Star Wars does it because they kind of develop a personality over time. It always says they can. Okay, that's a different conversation. My brain went about 7 different ways right there. But yeah, correct. All those things. Blade Runner AI laws should be real. Maybe, probably, possibly, maybe. I like it. Serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law. Yeah, but then is it like the law pertaining to the exact region you're in? Is there like a certain like global law that they follow? That's where things get iffy, and one size fits all tends to be a bad way of doing things, and I definitely think that's a bad way of doing robots and AI and anything of the sort. Military's 100% manual. Yeah. I'm sure they have automation to some degree, but they have it where they can get back and do strictly manual just to make sure like nobody can hack anything or anything of the sort. Do you think Disney will incorporate Doctor Who into their parks now that they're about to be the global distributor? No. I don't say that in like, no, they're not gonna do that. Why would they include Doctor Who? I think it would be actually a great idea for them to include Doctor Who, and it would probably be something that would sell pretty damn well, and it's something that has the potential of, it already has a giant fan base, and it would have the potential of just getting more and more people interested in the fan base if Disney were to put those things in parks. I just don't know because they are the distributor and they don't own the IP. I don't know if they are able to do that. Is the thing. I think it would have to be. That's a RoboCop quote. I was thinking it was a Blade Runner quote or something. They all run together sometimes. But I do like it. I do like it. Oh, Disney. Yeah. If the BBC were to open a park, I think Doctor Who would, of course, be one of their big first things that they could do. But I don't know if Disney would have to make another deal with the BBC for the parks and not just like the distribution rights of their projects, you know? Because I don't know if that would be classified as a film or television project. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure, but that's kind of I don't think so. I don't think so. But it would be cool. It would be cool. And that would get Matt to Disney in a heartbeat, which would be really funny. See him poking David Tennant behind him somewhere, you know? We won't get off topic too much, but besides David Tennant and the butt plugs, I don't know which one's funnier from the last couple weeks. Those streams have been great. We're getting a 2-week break though from our sidetrack streams, of course. So hopefully we'll come back more focused, more in tune. There just hasn't been that much like sci-fi stuff going on right now, obviously. So we've been having fun, which has been so much fun. We pay the BBC enough with the TV licenses already. I mean, I would think so. It's a big old tax thing in y'all's neck of the woods, I believe. Do you, like to open a park or something? Is that what you're saying? Because shit, I mean, the UK needs some tourism. Things. The UK is still a very touristy kind of place, a big tourist destination. I think because the whole world's very familiar with y'all, since you've taken all of us over at different points of time. But there's not like you go to London, you go see Big Ben, you go see this or that, or you go out to the countryside, you go to Stonehenge, you go to hiking and doing this or that. There's not like, not that I can think of at least. Obviously, y'all are in the UK, probably better, but there's nothing like that's like an attraction to go to in the UK. I don't think a BBC kind of park. I think that might actually be beneficial. I don't know where the hell they would put it, but it would be a cool idea. I like the idea. I don't know if that's exactly what you were getting at with this, but I like the idea. Can we should all get paid for that? I don't know how to do that, but BBC, pay us all, please, for something. I don't know. I'll put on a fake British accent. It won't be great, but I'll try. But we amuse ourselves with butt plug talk. But of course, sorry. Too punny. Okay. We have talked artificial intelligence, and we can continue talking AI. It very well might work its way back into the Legoland is in Legoland is no way. No way. I didn't realize that. Okay, well you do have an attraction. Totally then. Oh, that's Legoland, California. Where the main where is not in the US. I did not ever specify the US, but that's what comes up first. Which location is the best Legoland? Legoland Europe is what it says. I had no idea. That's really interesting. I had no idea. Thorpe Park and okay, well let me share these to the screen while I'm doing this. Honestly, present share screen. That's yeah. I had no idea. Where is the main Legoland? Thorpe Park. Jim Thorpe Park. No. Thorpe Park, UK. There's always something like right around here. Ooh, what the hell is this? That's almost like a Six Flags kind of deal in a way. Thorpe Park. Intense thrills, exhilarating fun. Little thrills and facilities. Ah, that's cool. Okay, the last one. What was the last one? I was still Alton Towers. I'm trying to. Isn't Legoland Holland? I don't know. They said there were 8 Legolands. There's one in California. I don't know. Legoland Windsor Resort. What the hell? They have a Windsor Legoland? That would be cool. That would be cool. Okay. All right. I was trying to remember Alton Towers. Let me look up Alton Towers real quick. Alton Towers. Alton Tower. There we go. Okay. Well, that looks like Six Flags like in a way. No way. Okay. So then that makes me think, would you rather see the BBC team up with one of these places? Would you rather them team up with Alton Towers or Thorpe Park and put like a little BBC land in there? Or would you rather oh god. or would you rather have the BBC come in and do like their own thing? Or would you rather the BBC allow their IPs to be distributed amongst other nations and companies, parks, and things like that? Let me look up this Legoland Windsor real quick before I take this screen off. Legoland Windsor. There we go. Yo, that looks cool. That's pretty cool. I see children playing and tiny models of things. Is that the whole park? Oh, that's cool. Don't go there. Don't go there if you're an arachnophobe. Damn. Oh, look at that. Ooh. Y'all are making me want to go on a vacation. Well, I'm technically getting not like paid to go on a vacation tomorrow, but I do get to go to Maine tomorrow, so I'm going on vacation. But y'all make me want to go to a different kind of vacation. What did Mark say? David Tennant from the butt plug sounds like an adult Doctor Who theme parody band. Okay, good. I'm glad you said the parody band. I just saw the P and I was like, I thought it was gonna be some parody porn thing or something. I was like, oh god. BBC Resort, no, thank you. I'd rather not pay good money on mostly bad TV. You don't want a Downton Abbey section, a Doctor Who section, and a Sherlock Holmes section. Legoland in Denmark opened in 1968 and is the original. Oh, cool. Okay, that's really cool. I had no idea. I want to go to Legolands. I've never been to a Legoland. I've been to New York City and been in like the Lego store. I think that's about it though. I ain't that fancy. But yeah, okay. Well, okay. If no BBC Resort sci-fi, well, especially this question specifically, I guess for our UK folks, Sci-Fi Quest, David B, and everybody else that happens to be here. Would you rather the BBC license out those IPs to, I guess, theme park wise? If we're thinking theme park, would you rather them license out those IP to Alton Towers, to Thorpe, whatever the Thorpe was? God, I already forgot. Where did you say? Thorpe Park. There we go. I was like, I just gotta scroll up a little bit. Alton Towers, Thorpe Park, or would you rather them license out to, say, Disney, even a Universal, something of the sort? It'd be cool to have that be a big thing in the UK, but I think it'd be more beneficial both for the BBC and for the shows themselves to be amongst a Disney or a Universal, because I love theme parks. I love things like that, and I had no idea Alton Towers or Thorpe Park were even a thing. Obviously, I haven't been to the UK, so I haven't like searched all that. But you know, usually you'd think you'd hear about something like that. I don't know how big they are or anything like that. It might be something huge for like families, and then you age out of it kind of deal. Which means I wouldn't think or wouldn't learn about it now. Obviously, they can do whatever they want as long as I'm not paying. That's true, but knowing the BBC, I'm sure they're gonna make y'all pay anyway. Sorry, but it is just kind of the way they do. If they license it out, it will allow us American Whovians to experience far, far easier. That's I just think it becomes a much more where it could be a destination for people to go see Doctor Who at Alton Towers or the Thorpe Park. I think if they were to do it at a Disney or a Universal, it would be much more international, I think. So too late. They already are for Doctor Who. I'm concerned for the future Doctor Who. Doctor Who and Top Gear were the only good stuff the BBC ever made. What about Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch, of course, and Martin Freeman? I love that. And what about Luther? I love Luther. Idris Elba's Luther is fantastic. Perfect, almost. I still need to see the Luther Fallen Sun, but I kind of want to rewatch Luther before I watch that, which is what's kept me from watching it. Yeah. Okay, so all of this, we can come back to it if we need to. Let's talk about the possibility that Disney could be bought. And not just Disney. It could be a couple different things. So, we all know Apple is in many businesses across the world. They bought out Beats by Dr. Dre. They're huge in the music industry. And they were already pretty big in the music industry because of iTunes and things of the sort. Interesting. Real quick. Sorry, y'all. BBC will likely restrict Disney Plus with the TV license. No license, no watch. That kind of, yeah, I can see that. But yeah, okay. So Apple has a net, I guess, capital or net worth of 3.4 or 3.5 trillion. I'm trying to remember these numbers off the top of my head, so don't quote me on any of them. I know they're in the right general range. Apple's at 3.4, 3.5 trillion. Disney's at, I believe, 115 billion. So that just shows you that Apple could buy Disney about 30 times over, maybe even a little more, maybe a little less, but I believe a little bit more. So they are huge. Disney is tiny compared to Apple, which is insane, yes, but it's true nonetheless. The other thought process here, but okay, before we move forward, would Apple buying Disney be a good thing or a bad thing, do you think? For Disney and for Apple? Because currently Disney is quantity over quality. Apple is quality over quantity. Their business models are the exact opposite of each other's companies. I feel like Apple, if they were to buy Disney, would stick to quality over quantity, even though they would have to up their quantity nonetheless, which I'm not entirely sure they're ready for. But if they bought out Disney, they do have Disney's infrastructure and, of course, a lot of the heads up and all the executives over there that would continue to help them bring things out. I still think Elon should make Disney an offer for Disney X. He doesn't have the type of money. Disney's $115 billion. He's worth 140, 160, 180, whatever it is. Maybe it's like 200 now, but still, he spent 44 on Twitter/X now, and it's doing well, I guess, but not that well. Not as well as I guess he would have hoped. And I don't think that's plausible. It would be fun. It would be fun. I'd be very interested in seeing what that would be like. It's not plausible. So, Apple buying Disney, though, good or bad? Good or bad? I think for Apple, it would be bad. For Disney, it would be good. I think Disney, he would make the first actual movie in orbit. Wrong! Because they're already working on it. I believe Steven Soderbergh. Oh, I have it in my notes on my phone. Oh, I gotta find it. 1 second. I'm gonna find this, y'all. It had a funny little. I'm not gonna be able to find this. If I do find this, I will tell you all about it. But I believe it's Soderbergh. It could be somebody else. But Tom Cruise is the actor signed up to make the movie in space with, I believe it's Soderbergh. It might be somebody else. But they're doing it. They're doing it. And I think it's going to become a lot more frequented than we expect it to. It'd be great. For us consumers, it boils down to how much it will cost us to see if it's worth paying for. Yeah. That's for us. Yes. I'm thinking more so like Apple and Disney. For Disney, would it be good if Apple bought Disney? I think for Disney, it would be great because their product is completely diluted. Sounds good. I'm pumped. But I just want more movies in orbit as well. Like that'd be great. I think Disney being bought out by Apple would be great for Disney and terrible for Apple because Disney has just diluted its project. Bob Iger himself has said the MCU and Star Wars have diluted their own brands. Everything Disney's been doing for the past decade has been diluting its own brand. What have they been doing? They haven't made anything. They made a very. Pixar's been like the only actual creative force for Disney for the past decade. Even with Marvel, even with Star Wars. Both of those things could be so huge and they just kind of continue to dilute themselves. They're not dilapidated, but they're on the way. Pixar, I think Pixar's still doing fine. But creatively, most of the things that Disney are doing are reboots, sequels, reimaginings, just rehashes of anything and everything that they can think of. And that is, I mean, Bob Iger wants to talk about MCU and Star Wars diluting their projects and product. What the hell is the rest of Disney doing? They're doing nothing but diluting their projects by making live action anything and everything out of animation. It's BS. It really is. And I think Apple would say, yeah, we're done with that immediately. If Apple bought out Disney, it would be great for Disney, but I don't think Apple would be making the quality of things they would be making anymore just because they would have to dilute where they're at currently to try to raise where Disney's at. And that is, it's a lot. It's a lot. Good for Disney. Would Apple expect people to pay another sub? Why would we? No. It would all go into the same thing. There's no way that would happen, I think. And one good thing about Apple buying Disney, I think, is Apple would be in the place to either completely buy out Hulu or buy out the section of Hulu that they need to buy and sell it to Universal Comcast. Be interesting. That would be very interesting. Now, I don't think it'd be good for Apple. Obviously, it would be diluting what they have. I just think they have one clear thing that would be a much better decision, which I will get to right after. Let me read what Laura said real fast. After what he did on Twitter, he doesn't really have a pot to piss in. Of course, as normal people could support our families in perpetuity on it. True. But if Apple were not to buy Disney and they're still in the market for buying one of these giant old legacy kind of studios, what would be another good studio to purchase? There's $115 billion tied up in and around Disney. Or you could pay, I think it's either $11 or $15 billion for Paramount. Paramount's been around just as long as Disney. Not just as long, but very close to as long. And they have a lot of very popular IP. Not like the most popular, but they have some very popular IP. Imagine the people that made Silo, the people that made Foundation, the people that made C, the people that made anything that's been on Disney Plus. Not sorry, anything that's been on Apple TV Plus, not Disney Plus. Excuse me there. Just imagine what they would do with Halo. Now that they have Avatar: The Last Airbender, now that Nickelodeon's a thing. I mean, their IP is not necessarily as engrossing and developed as Disney's is, but there's still a lot of really good IP within Paramount. And what Paramount's not doing with their IP is they're doing what? The Mayor of Easttown, Tulsa King. They're doing the Offer, that Godfather making of kind of docuseries, not docuseries, but biopic in a way. I think that fits their quality over quantity bill much more so. And Paramount is also, it has the number one show of any and every television network on air right now with Yellowstone. Yellowstone's coming to an end. There's another spinoff show with David Oyelowo. It's something about Bass Reeves, I think the first African American lawman in the U.S. And David Oyelowo is amazing, so I'm very excited to see what that is going to be about. I still need to watch like all of the Yellowstone stuff, but more IP to delve into. I just feel like Paramount fits Apple's bill a lot better, and they would have to pay less and could put more money into making the quality continue. Paramount's my vote. Yeah, that's what I would think. It fits Apple's bill better, and obviously it would be beneficial for Paramount. Paramount would be benefited being bought out by anybody at the moment, just because of it's put itself in a couple bad spots. Good for Disney. Would Apple expect people to pay another sub? We already saw that one. Apple doesn't have a lot of content, do they? Some really good content, though. Exactly. That's why I say they are quality over quantity. They don't have 100 years worth of back catalog like Disney has to toss on there. Paramount has a shit ton of back catalog, and they don't have everything they have on their Paramount Plus, which I think is smart. I think it's smart. I think part of why Disney is doing live action versions of old cartoons is trying to maintain the IP copyrights. Several of them are expiring or have expired. Yes. Mickey Mouse is when does that happen? When does Mickey IP? Oh, I didn't type expire. January of 2024. Okay, I thought it was either later this year or really early next year, and it's January of 2024. So, yeah, no, that's definitely something that they're thinking about, and it's costing them a lot of money to think about. Sure, then, make yeah, I understand that point. Yes, that it makes sense to that degree. Well, no, that's the thing. No, it doesn't, because that doesn't change copyright like at all, right? Even if you're making more things, like Disney's still making more Winnie the Pooh, right? Like they're still like, actually, I don't know if they're doing anything like that right now. That's just the first thing that came to mind. I don't know if that really affects them. I think they're making it for a cash grab because after 100 years, it's not like if you keep making things, your IP stays with you. No, no, no. It's after 100 years, at least in the US, public domain. There's not like, oh, well, and I guess there are little things that you might have like a small extension for something or something like that. But it's inevitable, as Thanos says, as Disney put out with Thanos, it's inevitable. They're either expired or have expired. Yeah, I don't think that actually plays as much into it as we may think. But if Apple took over Disney, surely they would cut down the amount of Marvel and Star Wars series and make them better quality. Totally. That's already what Disney's trying to do internally with themselves at the moment, which is a necessity. Even though Mando Season 3 wasn't great, I still loved it just being the Star Wars kind of person I am. And it was good for like Star Wars lore. It wasn't very good for a narrative per se. Marvel, though, with Secret Invasion. Damn. Yeah, so I think after what they've seen recently, they've already talked about it. Bob Iger's talked about it. They are diluting their product, and they don't want to do that any longer. And I'm very happy that they have finally taken that stance, and hopefully will be very pertinent with what they put out from here on out. Did I see Jay's video about Paramount? Sounds like they're getting their Star Trek shit together. I didn't see about Paramount. I did see the Kathleen Kennedy Disney stuff, which was interesting. I see. I don't watch the Star Trek stuff just because I don't have an interest in the Star Trek stuff most of the time. It seemingly, though, is starting to kind of put itself together because Star Trek has just been all over the place since it's, I think, come on to TV again like this, especially since, I guess, Discovery, post-Discovery is what I'm thinking of. Obviously, I haven't watched any of it. I'm just saying what I've heard and seen, but it seemed like it's just been a mess, but it seems also like it is getting together. I keep getting all these phone calls. Okay, anyway, sorry. My phone keeps going off over here. Can you see the Apple Disney trailer? The poison apple will be okay, that one's great. I like that idea, honestly. I still don't like Apple buying out Disney, but if they were to, they should 1000% take advantage of that. Like, take a bite and like, no, that'd be too dark. I don't know. Would that be too dark for Disney? I don't know. I love the idea though. I really liked it. Chapek pushed too much content, which can cause the issues now. Sort of. I feel awful for Chapek. I'll be honest. I really do. Bob, please still hire me, Disney. I'm just pointing out what I've seen. Harris, sorry, you'll have to put up with us Trekkies. I'll always put up with y'all Trekkies. I love y'all nonetheless. It's just a lot to catch up with. There's a lot to catch up with. And y'all get to listen to me talk about Star Wars all the time, so it's okay. Fall asleep with the latest iPhone or iPad in her hand. Or fell asleep? Who? Oh, okay, yeah. But with the Chapek thought real quick. Everyone poo-poos on Chapek so bad. He literally didn't have enough time for anything he made and put into effect to like legitimately happen. And like everything that came out while under his tenure and since his tenure was still planned by Bob Iger prior to Bob Chapek. Chapek didn't have like, I'm going to announce this new phase of Marvel and we're going to do this, and this. We're going to do this, and this over here at Disney, and we're going to do this, and this over here at Pixar, and this, and this over here. Like, he literally was not able to do that. He was picking up the pieces of what Bob Iger was like, here's my puzzle. Put it together, buddy. And now, when he wasn't able to put it together, Bob Iger's like, okay, well, I'm back in to do it all, and look where we're at now. Like, look exactly where we're at now. This is all Bob Iger. It's his fault. I mean, I don't want to – I do like Bob Iger as a businessman a lot. I just don't think he has like any inkling of love for anything Disney actually does project-wise. And I think it's abhorrent to use Bob Chapek as a scapegoat like that. The entire company has just been like, yep, it was all Chapek. We fired him. Now we've got Papa Iger back in, and we're doing good for you. We're doing good for everybody. Like, just don't actually pay attention. Like, who's been the issue? Who's been the biggest issue, I guess, with the strikes going on? That's iffy topics, because multitude of perspectives and the context matters all around the board. But Bob Iger's been like the big bad for all the strike stuff. Sorry, I got another phone call. I tried to swipe away and I answered on accident, so I had to answer then press end real fast. But yeah, Chapek is just a scapegoat, and I feel so bad for the guy because he literally was not able to enact anything. He was handed puzzle pieces that were already falling apart because Bob Iger was like, green light, green light, green light, green light, green light, green light, green light. What did Chapek greenlight? I honestly, I don't know what he greenlit. I can't think of any projects off the top of my head. Like maybe like the Blade movie happened because of Bob Chapek. I don't know. I don't think so. Or the Blade movie will be happening because of Bob Chapek. In the strikes, Iger and Netflix. Yeah. But really, I feel bad for Bob Chapek. He gets such a short end of the stick every single time the conversation's had, and I don't think he deserves any of that. He has been Disney's scapegoat, and it's been really sad to see. It's been really sad to see. That being said, I still trust Bob Iger for the most part. I don't like how he's handled the company of Disney for the past about 6-7 years, but no, not 6. We have 5 or 6 years more so since Infinity War. I think Endgame he didn't screw up because that made a lot of money and it was a lot of fun. It was a really good comic book movie. It felt very comic book like, but I think that's more to do with Feige, of course, than it is to do with Iger. And then the dilution with that's a whole different conversation with Feige. We could have that as a whole another day. But back to Paramount real quick. What do y'all think about Paramount being bought out by Apple? Apple has to spend literally $100 billion less and gain almost as big of a library. Like $100 billion less that they could then, if they were even entertaining the idea of buying Disney, why not just buy Paramount? And if you want to put $100 billion into something, here's your sign. Like try it. Could be your big break. Answer over the phone and put some music in a trailer. We will wait. If it wasn't my mom, it might be a big break. No, she's probably just saying like, "Oh, I need to talk to you before you leave town tomorrow." And of course, I got to talk to Mama. She's also going on to a wedding over in Colorado this weekend. This weekend, and then spending the week out in Colorado after that. So everyone's getting a little vacation around here, and well, not around here, but in the McGrade family, as they say. But yeah, if it were a big break, I'd take it. Thankfully, though, I have a Google phone. Sorry, Apple, I'm not one of y'all's people. I like my Google phone. Google allows you to screen call, which is great. So I can kind of like screen who's calling me, and then I can kind of like, if it's a number that I'm not familiar with, my phone answers for me and says like, "Ooh, this is a screen call, and tell us what you want to talk to Harris about, whatever," and it'll do all that kind of stuff. I feel better if Amazon bought Paramount. Ooh. They're not, though. Like, I see what you're saying, and I do like the idea, but Amazon just bought MGM. Or didn't just buy MGM, they bought MGM and have done absolutely nothing with MGM and have been scrambling to try to get anything together from buying MGM. So that's why I don't think they would buy Paramount. I like that idea, though. I like the idea of Amazon buying Paramount almost more than Apple. I just feel like Apple and Paramount fit each other's bills better, if that makes sense. They correlate a little better for me. Yeah. Yeah. I really do like the idea of Paramount buying Apple, though. Paramount buying Apple. Apple buying Paramount. I don't like the idea of Apple buying Disney. For me personally, I would say Paramount is easily the better and best choice for Apple to buy. And Disney, where it could be very lucrative, it could be amazing, it could be successful, it would be just as difficult to do well with anything over there than it would be to do. I guess. Oh, I don't know where that sentence was going. It'd be very difficult to do well. It would just be just as easy to do well as it would be to do bad, I guess. And it would be just as easy to do bad as it would be to do well with all of Disney and its IP. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. With Paramount, though, I think the people that Paramount already has make good quality content. They make good projects. They do well with what they have. If Apple were to even up the ante just a little bit, be able to toss a couple more dollars at these places and these shows and these programs, I think it would really up the ante for Paramount. Apple spends less money. Paramount still retains itself as a company moving forward, which would be amazing. Because I don't want Paramount to go under, because it seems like they might go under. Maybe because they are kind of getting Star Trek back on track. Maybe between that, Avatar: The Last Airbender, both the live action series and the animated movies and everything else coming out in the next couple of years, that could help out a lot. I think that will help bring Paramount back into effect, but I don't know if they can make it that long. They needed Mission Impossible to do well to kind of hold themselves off for a little bit, and it's not doing well. I loved the movie. I really loved the movie. But nobody's going to see it. Nobody's really going to see it. If you've seen Barbenheimer, go check out Mission Impossible, y'all. Because it is good. It is really fun. I really did enjoy it. Disney is a sinking ship right now. Paramount's a diamond in the rough with all its potential. Mwah! Perfect. Precisely. Exactly. You just dug into my brain and grabbed that for me. Thank you. Actually, you dug into your brain and said it, and I'm gonna just agree with it wholeheartedly. but I agree with that wholeheartedly. I really do. That's the succinct way of saying everything that I've just said for the past 30 minutes, I guess, or at least tried to say. But very much so. I think Paramount is that diamond that it's got the pressure applied to it right now, and if that pressure is taken off just at that right moment, that diamond gets to stay, and we get to bask in the glory of its beauty for just a little bit longer, or maybe for a lot longer, because with the type of money Apple has, a lot longer. But just imagine, like, that's the thing that really gets me. I'm intrigued that Paramount was, before season 1 came out, they were like, okay, we kind of didn't do Halo season 1 right. We understand that already. We're going to get a new showrunner, and we're going to do this entirely different for season 2. I'm very intrigued to see how and where that will end up whenever we do see it. Just imagine Halo done with the quality that Apple keeps making, though. It'd be so cool. So cool. I'm not the biggest Halo person. I have all the games just because I have Game Pass. Like, I've think of the only game I've ever actually played from them is Halo Reach. I don't think I played 1, 2, 3, 4, or ODST or all those other different ones. I'm not super familiar with. But if they just got a little more planning oriented, I don't know exactly what they need, but I think Apple could really work some magic there. Just, add a little organic touch to it. I don't know. I was trying to find something like Apple-y to say. Organic is, can we use that one for that? I don't know. I think I don't know. I just had a dumb fun thought. I was like, maybe we should rank Apple things with either organic or rotten. But I was like, that's Rotten Tomatoes. That's Rotten Tomatoes. So never mind. Excuse me. I think Amazon is spending all its time and effort to make sure they make quality content done right. Yes. Well, we hope. We hope so. Obviously, we get to talk about Amazon and MGM a lot more than your average Joe does, you know? Um, and it seems like that's what they want to do. But if they dilly-dally for so long that nothing ever gets done and some of these rights revert back to their original IP owners and things like that, we could be wanting and feeling like we need this great content, but if it just never comes, which is kind of like what's happening with Amazon is like obviously we want Stargate, obviously we want more RoboCop, obviously we want more Creed, more Rocky, all these different things. But what's the one thing we joke about fairly often? Legally Blonde 3. Where the hell is Legally Blonde 3? If Amazon and MGM can't get Legally Blonde 3 figured out and out into the ether, what's to make us think that they can bring anything out like effectively and efficiently? I'm terrified. If this is how well they've done with their easiest thing to bring back, like, oh, what's the hardest thing to do with Legally Blonde 3 is like some legal jargon. Like, your legal jargon is not going to be sci-fi military like RoboCop. It's not going to be sci-fi military with thousands of other concepts, hundreds, if not thousands of other concepts like Stargate has. Like, everything they've put out that is like original or that they claim to be original tends to be wonderful quality. I really do love everything that Amazon's done and given us. I got something in my eye. Okay, we're good. Maybe not. We'll figure it out. But they just the release strategy is very interesting. Very interesting. I agree with Quest. Think Creed has run its course. I'm not sure about. Ooh, see, I tweeted something a couple months ago. I had a whole idea for like how you can continue Creed, how you can continue Rocky, and if they wanted to team up and wanted to try to get Cobra Kai, how to incorporate all of that together. Because I would love those things to incorporate organically, though. I'm going to keep using that. I like that. As long as Paramount cancels Wolfpack, I don't mind who they join. What is Wolfpack? I feel like I've read something about Wolfpack on Twitter or something. What? Wolfpack? That sounds familiar. I'm not sure. Sure hope so, Quest, from your lips to God's ears. Yeah, sure hope so. Sure hope so. I mean, I believe that's what they're doing. Where the hell is Legally Blonde 3, you know? Wolfpack was pretty good. Make more. Hardest thing is bringing back the bend and snap. The bend and snap? What's the bend and snap? I don't know what the bend and snap is. Oh, what I do know though is it is 12:22 around here, and my movie starts at 12:30. So I might have to start skedaddling here. There are a couple minutes of preview, so I'm not like in a rush, but we might get out of here in the next couple minutes or so. We're an hour and 13 minutes in. We'll probably make it to hour 15, hour 16, hour 17, something like that. But let me give y'all my spiel. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share this to all your people everywhere. And, of course, we've got our Woodrow affiliate link and our Patreon link down in the description, and we have some plans for those things down there. So, you know, help us out if you're feeling inclined. If not, we're trying to get to 500 subscribers here. We're trying to get 50 likes on each one of these videos. So help us out in that way if you can. I appreciate the hell out of it. And had to have seen it. Wolfpack, what me and Jay disagree on. I think it's shocking Jay likes it. What y'all making me think about Wolfpack. What he talked, is that no, Airwolf. Airwolf is what, I don't know what the hell Wolfpack is. Okay, real quick. I gotta Google. Wolfpack. Oh, it's a new TV series. Supernatural is their genre. It's a supernatural drama. It's on Paramount Plus. A teenage boy and girl have their lives changed forever when a California wildfire awakens a terrifying supernatural creature. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, okay, that sounds fun. Uh, Great live as always, Harris. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's only great because y'all are here to help me out. I could ramble myself all day, as you all know, but it's so much more fun to ramble whenever we got topics to talk about, and we got people to talk about it with. So thank y'all so much for being here. Oh, I skipped Laura. Thanks, Harris. Enjoy your movie. I'm trepidatious about this one. I'm trepidatious. I keep hearing great things about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that's what I'm about to go see. I'm gonna go see it in 4DX, so it's gonna be fun. We're gonna be moving around a whole bunch. But I know that the turtles learn ninjutsu from TV, and they don't actually get taught from Splinter. So Master Splinter's just like Splinter. He's just a mutated rat. Is he like a brother to them now instead of like an old man? I don't know exactly what it's gonna be. I'm worried about it, honestly. But I keep hearing great things, so I assume it's going to be good. I'm intrigued, nonetheless. I don't know. To know what the bend and snap is, you have to see in the movie. Which movie? I'm so confused. I'm confused. Brain pain. I've got brain pain. I had to. It stars Buffy, but the story and CGI could be done as a 2-year-old. Is Wolfpack? Wolfpack? Does it really star Buffy? Is it a Buffy show? Oh, I've still never seen Buffy. That's something I really need to watch. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 is the best. It's yeah. I think the absolute best is the original comics, like the black and white comics, where they're like actually all. I think. As part of me, I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I think it would make more sense just to call them Mutant Ninja Turtles because they did not start off very teen-like. They started off very adult, very gritty, very gruesome, and I think that's Mutant Ninja Turtles at its best. I think that's TMNT at its best, and I kind of want to get back to that, of course, instead of not even knowing ninjutsu. Anyway, we'll see. Legally Blonde, Ben and Snap. Oh, Legally Blonde. Oh, isn't that what she like? That is that what she does? Is that the bend and snap? I feel like I remember. I don't know the last decade I watched Legally Blonde, and I'm not that many decades old, so it's been a little while. Idris Elba as the new James Bond. No, but only no because he said no. I love Idris Elba. I'd love that. But if he doesn't want to do it, if he feels like there's too much trepidation globally about something like that, fine. Just give us Henry Cavill or Aaron Taylor Johnson or Idris Elba. Like, come on, you have great options. Anyway, we're gonna make Harris late for his movie. Well, now there's previews. And okay, I won't do it here. We will not make this a smoke stream. As much as I do enjoy smoking at the end, I'm going to do a quick Snapchat smoke, and because that's where I usually smoke, and I'll advertise this stream on there. If he was 20 years younger, Idris, yeah. But Henry Cavill is like in his mid to older 30s, and I still think he'd be great. Although I could almost just say I'd rather another Man from U.N.C.L.E. But he's also doing the Argyle, whatever that spy movie is this year. I'm very excited for. Sarah Michelle Gellar, but as some fire officer type or cop, it's so bad, makes my eyes bleed. Had to watch. My partner loves it. Oh no. The had to watch and the eyes bleeding in the same two sentences is great. That's sorry, David. Sorry, David. I would say hit something. Do I have anything on this little pen? A little bit. Hit one of those, and then it might make it a little more enjoyable. But If not, make her watch Mayans with you, or whoever. Make your partner watch Mayans with you, because so fucking good, so good. And then Only Murders. I think you watched Only Murders too. We were talking about that the other day. Who? Electronic things always make me cough more, even though I was coughing like a motherfucker the other day with that joint. Anyway, it's movie time, y'all. I once again appreciate the absolute hell out of y'all every single time y'all are here. I love y'all. I love talking about this stuff. Let's do it again sometime. That said, though, tomorrow I have an 8:40 in the morning flight all the way to the East Coast, going to film a movie for a week. Schmook's birthday is this Sunday. So if y'all see him next week or see him over the weekend, or go comment, I'm going to put an Oppenheimer video out, I think, tomorrow. And it's a ticket or skip it for it from Schmook. So say howdy to Schmook, give him happy birthdays and all that. I am trying to get him to agree to Monday, Wednesday, Friday next week. He does have a 9 to 5 job. So it has to be after 5, and it is Central Standard Time instead of Pacific Standard Time. So it's 2 hours ahead of what our current time is. But I will either be able to post in the community tab myself or have him post in the community tab to make it easy. Yeah. That's the game plan. I'm trying to figure out 5 streams next week. I don't know if we're going to be able to. Trying. Monday, Wednesday, Friday news, of course, and help Schmook out, I guess, just a little bit if y'all don't mind. He's not used to talking about all that. Obviously, I'm great at rambling. It's nice when there are people here, so if y'all can go over there and support him whenever he's doing it, it'll be more afternoon or morning time for Sci-Fi and David over here. But yeah, keep y'all's eyes out for that. Tuesday, Thursday next week, I believe he's going to try to do some gaming streams, so we'll just hang out and play some games and stuff like that. But that is the plan for next week. I shall enjoy Maine, and I shall enjoy the film, and I will see y'all later, and y'all take care as well. Y'all take care as well. That really helped, that little end spiel right there. Once again, y'all are literally the best. I appreciate the hell out of y'all. Love y'all. Thank y'all, and I will see y'all hopefully sooner than later.